What is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. It's Brando Linick here, and tonight, or I should say today, whatever time of day it is for you, right now at the time of watching this video, I'm going to be talking about and sharing with you how to actually start out a business plan and do it with like the least amount of headaches. Alright, one thing about business planning, nobody likes to do it. If you're honest with yourself, if you've ever done it before, ever tried to start a business before, whether that's like a nightclub business or a discotheque, wherever you're from, or a clothing retail store business, it's not the best process to say the least, but it's something you gotta do. Alright, knowing what your overhead is, knowing how long it's going to take for you to get a return on your investment, it's very critical. And I wanted to share and just elaborate a little bit more on a fairly popular one, which is a nightclub business, really because I've had a couple close friends who have done this, some of them who have been successful at it, others who it's kind of flatlining right now at the time of shooting this video, and I'm not too sure what they're going to do with it. But I'm not saying that's what you're going to have happen to you, but just to paint an example in this video, alright, and then share with you some of my experiences afterwards. When it comes to a nightclub business, once you have it legalized, you have a name for yourself, you can go out there, alright, and you can go find some space, alright, find a facility, find somewhere where you can operate under, whether you're going to buy out an already, done for you nightclub, alright, or you're going to create your own, okay. There's two different approaches you can take to this. Now, if you're going to create your own, you're looking at either buying out the space, you're looking at leasing out the space, or you're looking at leasing out the space. All three of those things, alright, is going to be probably one of your biggest investments. Alright, with a nightclub business, there's not else much to it. You're going to have to get liquor licenses for bartenders, but aside from that, liquor and the space is going to be your biggest upfront investment. That can cost you anywhere from $100,000 up to and over $250,000, depending on the size of your location and depending on where it is actually located. And when it comes to this, you got to keep in mind that's all it really comes down to. Alright, and then you got to properly learn how to effectively market yourself. You can post some things up on Craigslist. It's fairly popular, I would say, if you start posting on social media, specifically Instagram, pictures related to night clubbing, and you want to target your specific niche group audience, talk about night clubbing, all this stuff, and just to attract those people to you, because you don't want to be broad and very generic. If you're broad and generic, your business will never grow, and the internet and social media is the best place where you could start promoting it afterwards. But when it comes to the space and when it comes to the size, you got to keep in mind you're looking at just like bartenders, liquor licenses, alright, so you can operate legally and that bartenders can actually operate and serve alcohol, and those are going to be your biggest expenses, because with a nightclub, it's very spacious, alright, you're going to have like a couple lounges, a couple VIP lounges, and that's pretty much it. So not really much of furniture, okay, not too much furniture, but you're looking at, space being one of those things, whether you're leasing, buying, or renting it out, and then just doing a proper job marketing that out. So I hope that makes sense. In an essence, I know that's very brief and very broad, but that in an essence is how you can start, getting one going. But I will tell you this, if you don't have the budget set aside for it, having seen people take out loans and get loans not just from the bank, but from family, and having seen them pay it off in like 10, 15, 20 years, and having heard stories of people even take longer than that. And, if you don't have that money, I would suggest, before you consider starting a nightclub business, if you're looking at this because you want to start a business to be your own boss, and you want to create a lucrative business for yourself, okay, because a nightclub is a very lucrative, highly profitable business model. It's a great business model. But if you don't have the budget set aside for it, I would advise you, if you're looking at it just to be your own boss, create your own income. If you hear me out here for a minute, I've got a lead I want to throw your way. And my story with this specifically goes back a year ago when I transitioned from a traditional brick and mortar business like a nightclub business, dealing with supplies, equipment, overhead space. Alright, I actually had leased out a space, paying monthly, and I went from that and I came across a person who was building a business on the internet, and they're doing so completely online, which I'm not going to tell you is the only way to go to build a business. That'd be a bunch of BS, okay, I'd be lying to you. But the cool part was they didn't have that overhead, alright, they didn't have to fork out tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to get started, and they didn't even have to create their own products and services. They weren't pitching their friends and family, they weren't doing any of that stuff, hotel meetings, hotel briefings, luncheons, and because they weren't doing that, attracting people to them and their business on the internet, living the life of like time freedom, leverage, and location freedom, where they could pick up, travel, and build their business wherever there's internet access, which is now virtually literally anywhere. It was attractive to me. This person was making more money every month than I was making a whole like 2 years. So I started to model and copy them. Long story short, worked my butt off for a month and a bit. Okay, it was like a month and a couple days, and was able to create a full-time income business working part-time. All right, and I had to learn some stuff, had to work my butt off like you'd have to do in any business, but I share that with you because if you don't have the budget set aside to start a nightclub business, going through the headaches itself, even if you have the budget, I'm telling you, like, asking yourself and planning out, what supplies you're going to need, what's the location size going to be, how many employees you're going to need. It can be a headache. If you've never done business planning before, I'm telling you, it can be a headache. And if you want to avoid that and you just want to be your own boss and create your own income in a flexible, leveraged, truly time flexible manner, learn how to build a business on the internet. It's the best thing I could share with you in this video, and it's the most profitable, lucrative business I could throw your way that I've come around over the last like 3.5 years, having started a couple different types of businesses. So that's just my tip, that's my overview. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did putting it together for you, and I look forward to seeing your success story regardless of what road you decide to go down. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more information about how to build a business on the internet, okay, if you've got that drive, okay, you want change in your life, you're willing to put in the work, and you're not afraid of learning, if you can do those two things, and you want to learn how to do this, connect with me on my site. Check it out. It's 123marketingtips.com. I'll put a link down in the description, and I'll connect with you personally from there. But aside from that, I'll see you on the beaches of the world. Take care, my friend.